years, 5 years from now, in 5 years from now, every decision that counts, all important decisions in your life. Should I get a new house? Should I buy a mortgage? Should I take this school for my children? What treatment is the best for my terminal ill child? Every decision, all decisions that matters in 5 years from now will be supported by artificial intelligence. Already today, artificial intelligence is actually supporting medical doctors in hospitals like Memorial Sloan Kettering in the treatment advice that they make. Already 200 of the top 500 Fortune companies has reported in 2016's earnings the use of artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is here. My question to you, for you as a developer, you as a startup, you as a corporate incubator, how are you going to capitalize on it? How are you going to make money on AI? So there is this misconception, and a lot of people always think you need to automate an incredible chain, you need to have a Star Trek kind of idea. That's not really what you have to do with artificial intelligence. You take one thing, one process you already know, and you infuse it with AI, because people really want to do things they've always done. They want to do it faster and cheaper and with much more data. They want to hail a cab and jump out without paying it. They want to read 10,000 documents for their thesis without actually spending more than 12 seconds in it. And look at yourself, you're already doing it. Is there anyone in this room that knows how we did homework or prepared for a paper before there was the internet? Right? We all want something we already did. We want it cheaper, faster, better. Now, a lot of people always talk about, well, will it take away a job? Let's be clear. In the United States alone, if you're diagnosed with cancer, and God forbid you would be, 20% of the people that are diagnosed with cancer are eligible for a clinical trial. Only 5% actually gets matched. Because it takes 160 to 180 hours for a medical doctor and her team or his team to go to all those documents and make that match. You can't blame a physician for not being able to fight that. They get 15 minutes from the insurance company to have a conversation for you. So in the case of Memorial Sloan Kettering, all IBM Watson does as their AI is support them and take the 160, 180 hours off their shoulders and be an intelligent sidekick, so they still have 15 minutes with you. And still, as a medical doctor, I need to do what I do with every resident. What were you thinking and reading when you gave me that advice? So people ask me, how does AI actually get trained? And let me give you an example. Bananas. Most artificial intelligence today, and certainly IBM's Watson, comes with libraries with classes. So when I make that middle picture of a banana in my kitchen, actually, the AI will say, hey, that maps to a lot of those pictures, that must be a banana. But I want ripe bananas because I like ripe bananas in my smoothie. So now I'm going to give it a picture of ripe banana. It says, well, it's still a banana. I say, no, I want you to know it's ripe. So what I now need to do is I need to give it examples. They call it training data. Examples that are representative for what I'm looking for. So I'm going to feed it an enormous amount of pictures of ripe bananas, and it will increase directly by machine learning to recognizing that the banana that I show on the picture is a banana and is for 63% very likely to be ripe. It's not enough. 63% confidence is not what I want. So I'm going to spend some time. I'm going to take the expert in bananas, ripe bananas, being me, and I'm going to take a lot of these pictures and I'm going to train it. There's a thumbs up, that was really good. Thumbs down, that wasn't really a ripe banana. Or let me highlight basically where this banana is ripe. Suddenly the visual recognition goes up to 86%. This was 90 minutes of training. Have you ever tried to make a program that in 19 minutes recognizes and makes rules for something it never did before? Now, I hear you think, why the heck is this guy talking about bananas? Well, because there's money to be made out of bananas. There's a business model about it. You know when you listen to some music and you take Shazam and you directly know what song it is, and that there's this revenue model behind it that brings you to Spotify or the iTunes store? Well, imagine you could make a picture of a catalog and you say, I like that shirt. Instead of spending 4 hours on the internet finding out what that shirt is, who makes it, when it's sold. A few weeks ago, there was a hackathon at Yoox Net-a-Porter, and their team took that concept one step further. They said, can we take a picture of a celebrity and dress like a celebrity with clothing that is in the catalog, not clothing that is exactly the same, but is close enough to dress me like a weekend. Now, how's that for a business model? Because visual recognition is actually really, really hard, and it means that you have to do a lot of training. But now the technology is there to be trainable with your insight. You can also make it yours. So people ask me, how does Watson do that? So for those of you, Watson is a platform. It's a platform with multiple AI capabilities. Each of these AI capabilities is really good at one thing. It's like a startup. It does one thing really good. It can listen to multiple languages. It can talk back in multiple languages. It can read documents. It can understand a picture or a video or a chat. And under that platform is the ability to mix and match these open components with other components, a system you already had made, an app you already had created, so you can take what you already have and infuse that with AI. There's this company in the United States, Staples. Staples sells office supplies. And office supplies in most companies, a big war. Everybody tries to order them themselves. The office manager needs to control it. And nobody actually knows what the standard product is. Staples launched a combination of AIs last year. It is now available.
It's just a blue pen, right? Sounds simple, but it's surprisingly complex. What brand? What type? What quantity? Now magnify that across the chaos of all the stuff you order for all the people in your office. What if managing this was as easy as saying,
"Hi, please tell me what you need."
Blue pens.
Now it is. That's the magic of the Staples Easy System.
"Hi, please
Using
tell me
simple
what you
spoken
need."
words,
Any more Post-it notes?
the Easy button lets you order everything your team needs to be productive, fed, and caffeinated.
French vanilla coffee and letter-size copy paper.
Got it. That was easy.
It's an extra set of hands, helping you save countless hours, manage costs, and maintain control of ordering supplies.
3 boxes of Sharpies.
The Staples Easy button brings the power of on-demand to businesses on any device, exactly when something is needed.
Dry erase markers.
Order with voice through the Easy button or through the app. Order with a text, with an email, with a Slack bot, with a photo, or even with Facebook Messenger. It's easy to track shipments
I need to check on my order.
and get in touch with customer service. The brain behind the Easy System is IBM Watson. Watson's cognitive intelligence turns what you say into data, and then turns that data into answers you need. The Staples Easy button learns over time. With every interaction, it becomes more personalized and more intuitive.
Please tell me what you need.
So when you tell the Easy button you want blue pens, it knows the exact blue pens you want.
Got it. That was easy.
That's the Staples Easy System.
All Staples did was to take the process of ordering supplies and make the wish list for the office manager, allowing any device possible to recognize what you wanted to order. Do you know how hard it is for a search engine where you type in blue pens to recognize the blue pens you want ordered? So let's make this a little bit more exciting. You know, the biggest issue with chatbots today is they lack personality. We always have someone in our social circle that has that, and we're trying to get them through therapy or improve them and teach them what personality is. And sometimes we're successful. It's called marriage. And when we do that, we do the same with AI. We have to let me teach you how to read a text, an email, a chat conversation, a document, and what the words are that the author is using at that moment. Are they socially open? Are they socially closed? Are they grumpy? What is their state of mind when they wrote it? So not just sentiment, but an insight in the personality, which also means that you know how to reply and respond to that. Let's go forward to one phenomenal concierge. There's this company in LA, Go Moment, and they created this concierge called Ivy. Ivy is used at this moment over 40,000 rooms in hotels, high-end hotels. taking questions, the frequent asked questions that we normally have. Now, I don't know about you, but you know, I travel a lot, and I know a lot of you travel as well. So when I come in New York, in that hotel, I go to the 23rd floor, and basically I'm looking to that phenomenal view of the sidewall of the other hotel. I realize I don't have the Wi-Fi password. And today, people can take longer duration to live without water than without a Wi-Fi password. So I go down with the elevator, 24 free floors down, stand in the line of the very important other customers with all the other customers that are important, and then 5 minutes later, I get the Wi-Fi password, go to my room and think, what time is breakfast? Ivy automates 1 month of labor every day. Hotels that have been using Ivy had a 34% increase on positive reviews on TripAdvisor. You'd think that they would fire their front-end staff, right? They didn't. Yet from every 4 conversations, 3 of them were done by Ivy and only 1 by a human being at the front-end desk. And the front-end desk was able to be relieved from repetitive, boring jobs and focus on the most important why they were in a hotel. To give service to you and me, to give value to you and me, and to incent us and excite us to come back to that hotel. What they actually said, and that's an interesting statement, at the university, that's one of the most prestigious in the world for hospitality, Cornell, 95% of the class that this year is graduating wanted to work with a hotel that had an Ivy. Because they said, when they talked to the front desk people, AI brought the humanity back in the business. AI helped the human to be more human. Instead of spending 80–90% of the time in repetitive, boring, mind-numbing, what's the Wi-Fi password? And answering that again, what bus goes to the center of the town? They were able to focus on what is it what you want to do in town? Is it the first time you're here with your spouse? Can we set something nice up for you guys? I really like it at your first time here in DC. Have you ever thought about looking at this? They normally didn't have the time for that service. AI returns humanity back to business, to medicines, to healthcare, to retail. It's a big thing. So let's go to lawyers. And I hear you think, why are we talking today again about lawyers? Because knowledge workers, like lawyers, are the last fortress, the last stand for automated knowledge workers. Have you ever seen a lawyer comparing 2 contracts, 2 versions? Well, when we did some tests, they hold them to the light and see where they're different. Because 1 comma different in a document is the difference between an exclusion and a disclaimer and a 30 million fine. In the United States, there are banks that have 18, 19, 20,000 lawyers doing regulatory. These are people that went 7 years, college, law school and bar to school, and all they're doing is cutting and pasting a piece of text out of a regulatory document, cutting and pasting basically the classification of it, and then take those 193 pages that you and I always read when we have a new app, and say where that matches that. It's an incredible stressful job. You make a mistake, the CFO goes out of business, the CFO might go to jail, the bank, the financial institute, or every company, you do compliance for a pay-to-use fine, and you basically are sacked. And if you do a great job, nobody notices. It is in the United States a white-collar job with the highest suicide rate. So what if I take 4 to 6 hours out of that task and give it to AI? What if I take the heavy lifting of comparing documents, reading documents, parsing documents away, and give that to a piece of technology so you can actually focus on what you were educated for? So instead of a company doing 20% of their compliance and taking the risk of being fined, you can now be a store and say, I promise you that all of my suppliers are absolutely organic. I promise you that each of the assessment we did for your mortgage is absolutely the best offer I can bring you, because I can check it and you can check it in transparency with me. There's this prediction that in 5 years from now, no lawyer will work without consulting an AI system. So all I'm saying, I know there are these big expectations about artificial intelligence, but all I'm saying, let the robots process, let the robots do the heavy lifting, bring the professionality and the humanity back to the humans, and let the humans think. Take a process you already know, take one step out, and give that to AI, and augment the human being. Because that's the value. So how do we get started? How do we get started and make money out of this? Well, first you need to focus on a revenue model. Anybody of you here that has a great idea, or that had a great idea with a client before that it couldn't scale and think, oh, AI can help me, follow the money. What's going to be the reason you're going to get paid? What is your AI service going to do, or your product or your app that gives you revenue? Now, when you do that, most people start focusing on the cost saving. And that's not really what matters. It's the benefits. It's not that a lawyer or somebody who does compliance suddenly has 5 hours less. It's not that you have a third of your staff suddenly available and maybe you could fire them in a hotel. Imagine that a third of the best knowledge workers, the best experts in your company, were suddenly available, or that the best of your people had a third more of their time available to focus on what they really love to do and to really create value. It's the benefits of the benefits. It's the effect of making the time available, what they could do, what they can't do. Watson isn't an AI platform. Watson is an AI platform for business that helps businesses to make capabilities available that they couldn't access before for whatever reason. So to do this, we now close the revenue model. The question is now, how am I going to do with the cost? Am I going to build something myself? Am I going to take an off-the-shelf AI platform? Am I going to go open source? You need to understand there's a very simple principle. You either get some technology for free, and you're going to pay with everything you teach that artificial intelligence. You're going to give your secret sauce and your most important data in it, and you're going to pay with dollars. Or you have platforms that say, well, you don't pay in dollars, your data stays yours, but you still have to pay for it. Sometimes it doesn't matter. Sometimes you want to share with the whole world. But if what you are doing and training, if my ripeness of bananas factor is competitive, making my smoothie store uniquely what it is, do I really want to share that with the world? So, you know, when I flew over here, the plane that brought me from the US to here generated 6 terabytes of data in one single flight. The mechanic doesn't even have the time to download in 2 hours, just takes the disk drives out and looks to anomalies and outliers. The expectation is in 2020, 70% of the data that we will be using will be outside our company. They will not be inside created, it will be outside data. It could be weather data, it could be indeed car data, that could just be social media, that could be geospatial, that could also be the voice of the customer or someone else's training data. But if someone else's data is 70% of my data, how much is my internal data worth for someone else? So here comes the caveat. This is the salesman trick 101 or the disclaimer to be aware of. If you get technology for free to build your platform, and you give your data in return, their product is your data. And you just gave them the 70% for a short-term transaction for access to technology. That's not really a long, sustainable, competitive differentiating advantage, is it? When we created Watson, we really said we wanted a business platform. And in business, the secret sauce, how you do things, is really unique. We need to help you to be successful in order to make us successful. So we made it very clear, and I'm not bashing others. I'm just saying what our philosophy is. Your data is your data. Your data is your most differentiable IP, is your currency. My data, you use in license. That's another model then. Your data is my data, and my data is my data too. And if you're lucky, you get benefits from it. Maybe you don't care. Maybe the model is not important. But if we're talking about being a successful startup or a successful incubator, that's a model that's going to impact you 3 years from now. Did you give away your competitive advantage or not? So I've had the pleasure since Wednesday night to speak with different VCs, corporate incubators, and startups. And first is thank you. I mean, I learn an incredible lot of these conversations. Second, I learned that all you have in common is that you want an unfair, preferably unfair, sustainable competitive advantage. And my answer to each of you was at that moment, that's not difficult. It is not difficult to create an unfair, sustainable competitive advantage if you know the process well that you're doing and you know the unique thing. You know what's really hard? What's really hard is to keep your eyes on the prize, to keep your eyes on the ball, to do one thing and do it better than anyone else. If, for instance, somebody wants to start a startup and say, I'm going to make the most unique water bottles, and they get 2 clients, and they're happy with those water bottle clients, and that client says, I want to have custom caps. The biggest mistake to make is at that moment to start making custom caps yourself. Find a partner, find a player, outsource it, tell your client that's not your problem, but you are there because you're uniquely making that water bottle. The biggest mistake for a startup and an incubator is to get distracted by the success of the first 3, 4 clients. Really, I know it sounds like a broken record, but that's the real competitive advantage. So, if you want to build a billion-dollar business, you take a human desire. Take a human desire that has been around for a long, long time. You take one step out, hailing a cab, stepping out without paying, like Staples, taking the opportunity to make that order. Like Ivy, getting 80% of the questions of the humans, but connecting back to the humans when the question isn't appropriate for an AI anymore. Like Memorial Sloan Kettering and other hospitals that use Watson to get that heavy lifting away from their doctor. Take a process you really know, based on a human desire, take that one step with the heavy lifting out, and infuse it with AI. So let's round this up. I promise you 5 things. Well, number 1, it's going to take 5 years before these changes really are mainstream. But for you to capitalize on that, you're going to keep your eyes on the prize and do one thing better than anyone else, or fail fast, get yourself up, stop crying, and do it again. Because if you have a brilliant idea and you know you're going to take that process out and you do it with AI, fail fast and do it again. And have the guts to talk to your investors or your corporate backer, that is how life is. But keep your eyes on the prize and do one thing really good. Second is take a process, take one step out, process you know well, take that one step out and infuse it with AI. Third, your data is your currency. It is up to you if you decide to give it away freely in exchange for some technology that is hot today and not tomorrow, or if you keep your competitive advantage in an unfair, sustainable way within the firewalls of your company. Fourth, when you look at the examples of Ivy and Staples, it is the humanity that counts. It is your human staff. There are very, very few companies that actually have a full 110% automated process. The only source of profit is your customer. And very few customers like to do business with you without human contact. It is your best people, your best experts, your best talents that you want to grab and scale and share with the rest of your company. You want to bring the humanity back in the business. You want to bring the AI in to make the humans more human. The fifth, to make this all happen, be first. Don't wait. You all have had a client or an idea or a business that you work with that you know, if I just could capture and scale this. My question to you is, you've been here yesterday and today. What are you waiting for? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mark.